In this week's episode of PMP, we're going to review some magazines and see which one gives you the best value for your buck. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Pints and Paints. Today's beverage of choice is a local brewing company, the Red Barn Brewing Company. They're located in Blenheim, Ontario, which just so happens to be where I model. This is their sharecropper. It's a Belgian-style wit beer. So let's go ahead and give this a try and get PMP started off right. Cheers, boys. That's a good beer. Good beer. Anyways, you can find them in Blenheim. Check out redbarnbrewingco.com and have a look at what they have on offer. So today, as we discussed earlier, we are going to be discussing magazines. This is a hot topic. Obviously, lots of changes going on within the hobby when it comes to print magazines. Obviously, the NMRA, Gordy Robinson's come in, made some major changes. That's looking like someplace that I may be looking at throwing some money their way for a membership now that I've seen some of the more positive changes within that organization, and number one of which is switching to a digital format magazine. Now, is there still room for an old print style magazine within the hobby? I think absolutely yes, 100%. As much as I am a fan of the digital content and spreading all we can about our hobby online, I think the print format is still tried, tested, and true, and they are quality publications that are worth their weight for sure. Lots of great tips, lots of great how-tos, but how do they stack up? How do they stack up when compared to each other? Obviously, Model Railroader, the staple within the hobby for a long time. I know me growing up, my dad had a subscription. It was always great to flip through, lots of inspiration. Even at a time when I was not really into model railroading, this was a staple in my house. Now, that being said, I've got, what do I have here? February and February. Both February editions of Model Railroader and Rail Model Craftsman. Fantastic publications, both of them. Hands down, I have to give it to Railroad Model Craftsman though. The quality of this publication from White River Productions is second to none. It is a high caliber magazine, and just the finish alone on that cover, as well as the pages, sets it worlds apart from Model Railroader. I really think that unfortunately Model Railroader is losing its way. The amount of content compared to ads is pretty bad. There's plenty of ads in this, but this is almost 100 pages. And it's got a lot more content in it than this magazine. This magazine pales in comparison to this magazine. They're both retail for $7.99. I'm fortunate enough to have subscriptions to both. I will tell you, I get far more excited when this arrives than I do when Model Railroader shows up. Unfortunately, I'm just not sure what the direction is that they're trying to take with this magazine. They've shrunk it down. It's about 75 pages. She's pretty thin. The quality of the paper and printing is nowhere near as good as this magazine. This is by far, if you're going to make a choice between one or the other, I would highly recommend the White River Productions product. Far superior, and just it reads so much. The pages are so nice. It's got a high gloss finish to it. It's just a high caliber magazine. Not to mention that the articles themselves, great articles on both sides. Far more detail in these articles, in my opinion, in Railroad Model Craftsman. You can just tell there's a lot more care that goes into the content that's being put into this magazine than unfortunately what's going into this. A lot of this is rehashed stuff, which I understand. In this hobby, there's only so many times you can talk about weathering a car or how to up detail a model, etc., etc. For whatever reason, White River Productions finds a way to stay relevant and to give you new examples of that. In this case here, they're talking about kit bashing and detailing a Tyco interlock tower. That's from Mr. Dave Abelese. On his layout, that's what the screenshot or the cover shot is from. There's just so much more detail in the articles than compared to Model Railroader. Not that I'm slamming this. This is a good publication. This is a great publication. That's the major difference, in my opinion, of the two. And I really think that if you have not taken the time to check out Railroad Model Craftsman, you definitely should, because it's definitely worth the read. Other than that, as I said, they retail for the same. Ad content, lots of ads in this. Not to say that there is not ads in this magazine, but this far outscales it for sure. So if you want to know what's going on in the hobby from an advertising standpoint, you want to know what's new and up and coming, Model Railroader might be right up your alley. If you like to sit down and flip through and see what's coming and what's coming out, definitely well spent for the advertising budget. For the hobbyist though, for somebody who's really looking to dig in and have a reference for various modeling projects, this is the publication for you. So Pints and Paints pick of the week is definitely going to be Railroad Model Craftsman. Cheers guys, happy hobby and take care. Oh, so good when it hits your lips.